I'm Julieann Hartman, and welcome to Hart. And today I have on a very special guest, but he's not just a guest today. Today he is the co-host of the show. This is my husband, Butch Hartman.
Hi, folks.
Now you have seen him before. We did a show on
marriage,
your career,
my career,
your career and marriage.
Right.
And so today we figured, you know what? It's better. You get double for your trouble today because behind every strong woman is an even stronger man, and vice versa.
Right, and since we couldn't find a strong man, we brought me in today. So,
because you're really strong, right?
Exactly.
All right, so today, yes, we're talking about gifts and giving, and because it's
the holiday season, it's the Christmas season. Everyone's very focused on gifts this year, and gifts are very important. Not only at the holiday season, at Christmas time, and everyone's got their mind focused on giving gifts to their wife, their kids, their boss, people at work. But not only should gifts be important at Christmas, I think gifts are important all year long.
Right.
Because not only is a gift something tangible you can give to somebody, but there's also things inside of you can give to other people as well. I mean, it's funny how people are so focused on giving material gifts to people. Did you know this year, Black Friday, which is the Friday after Thanksgiving, the biggest shopping day of the year.
And now, Butchie, why is it called Black Friday? I forget.
It's called Black Friday because all the lights go out. No, it's called Black Friday because that's the time of year where after all the sales are over, all the businesses are in the black. They're not worried about money anymore. Supposedly, it's called Black Friday. And I never heard that term for ever my whole life until 2 years ago. Anyway, and did you know that just this last year, the average shopper spent $365. The average shopper spent $365 when they went out shopping this year. And people say the economy's down, but it actually went up $20. Last year, they only spent $343 on gifts. So that's a pretty good sign for the economy. Let's see.
Well, I have to say we weren't in that statistic because I'm not getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go buy anything.
Yeah, did you know that the average person this year got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go shopping at a store to buy gifts and save a few dollars, which is fine. They can do that. That's fine. But for all the shopping together totaled $45 billion. People spent $45 billion on gifts this year. And what I find interesting about that is I wonder how many of those gifts will be around next year at the same time.
Right.
How many things will last the whole year.
Yeah.
But one thing that does last the whole year is the gift that's inside of you. And the gift inside of you is what you can give to other people, not just at Christmas time, but during the whole entire year. Because God gave each one of us a gift. I mean, whether you believe it or not, some people's gifts are a little more obvious than other people's. Like Michael Jackson obviously could sing, right? And Taylor Swift can obviously sing, and
there's all the sports people,
that are athletic actors.
But you, because I can't draw. I mean, I have a creativity, but it's not in drawing.
Right. Well, mine is drawing. That's what I love to do. I draw cartoons. But you have a gift inside of you too, and that's to impart to other people. She is so good with other people. She's not only good at speaking to people, but she's great at making people feel fantastic. She's great at making people feel uplifted and uplifting their spirits. And that is a gift that's inside of her. And she's going to take that gift to great heights. I know you are.
Right.
And she can also look at other people and see what's. It's interesting. It's almost like a superpower. I always go back to comic books, but it's always she's got like this ability to look at people and see what's physically wrong with them. If there's something wrong with them, she can go, I think there's something wrong here, and usually it'll turn out to be correct.
I know.
And I mean, that's a gift. It's sort of a recently discovered gift that you have, but I think it's pretty awesome. But anyway, I don't mean to digress too much into that. But what I think we wanted to talk about is giving of yourself this year. If you don't have the money to go out and buy gifts, don't worry about it. Don't feel bad. Don't sit in your room alone and be upset and eat ravioli out of a can, which is very good, by the way. Ravioli is pretty darn good. She won't let me have that anymore. But as a kid, I used to love the ravioli out of a can. But what you can do is give of your time. You can give of who you are.
Well, also, there's a lot of things you can do in the giving. Like, for instance, I do not like to wrap gifts. I am the worst wrapper. Everybody knows in my family, they get a bag, and that's it, like a sack. And it's kind of a joke, but it's really true.
That's sort of wrapping, in a way.
It's
in something.
Right,
so
and I had to think about getting the bag. But I would love if somebody would wrap my gifts. Now, I have a friend, actually, that loves wrapping gifts. Now, she is the busiest woman in the world, but still will say, bring all your gifts and I'll wrap them for you. So now everybody thinks I wrap these
We had another friend
gifts.
of ours. You think we don't do anything for ourselves now after we're saying all this. We don't wrap gifts. We had another friend of ours who lives down the street who came over and decorated our Christmas tree for us. Why? She loves to decorate Christmas trees.
And the house too.
Yeah, and as a result, we have this beautiful house now decorated for Christmas and this beautiful tree because she gave of herself. And now we, as a result, are trying to find things we can do for her to give to her. But she won't take anything from us anyway.
But think about it, though. Something like that, like, for instance, her coming and decorating like that, what's more of value? doing something like that, which is very endearing, or buying me a shirt.
No, listen.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that she didn't spend any money. She spent her time.
Exactly.
And that's what's important. I mean, it meant so much to me. But that we can all do that in ways. But I think what happens is that it gets into this money. I got to have money. I got to buy this gift. I got to buy that gift. And will somebody still think I care about them if I don't get them this special gift? You know, and that happens with our kids too. Our kids now are accustomed, not I'm saying our kids, but our kids as the general public.
Our kids get nothing.
They get nothing.
No, I'm kidding.
But really though, our kids, we give them a lot anyway during the year. So like, what's left?
Well, what she's saying is one of the cool things about our kids. We have 2 daughters. We give to our kids all year long. And I'm not saying we shower them with presents or jewelry or things like that, but they need clothes for school. They need to go to the movies with their friends. They need to go to the football game or the basketball game. One of their friends over. We provide pizza and food and this and that. We do whatever we can for them to make their lives special because they work really hard to make our lives special. They do good in school. They clean the house when we ask them to. They do their chores. I mean, it's a give and take situation. See, God's whole philosophy is giving. I always tell people this. I say, look, God gave us the world. He gave us his only begotten son, and Jesus gave us his life. And people who don't read the Bible or don't want to hear the Bible go, oh, well, whatever. I say, but listen, it's all a biblical principle. Jesus gave us his life. Giving is so ingrained in everybody's spirit, we don't even know where it comes from anymore. I mean, people who plant trees, you cannot get a tree unless you plant a seed. You cannot get anything unless you give of something else. The seed even in the ground has to give of itself before the tree can come out. You've got to water that seed. You've got to plant it. People expect also, you can't even get interest from the bank unless you put money in the bank.
Right.
Even gamblers in Las Vegas have to go to the blackjack table to put a bet down before the dealer will give them any money back after their bet. So people understand it even though they don't think they do. Like if I have my hands closed like this, if I'm holding on to my stuff all the time and never giving, can you give me anything? No. But if I open up my hand and open up this hand, you can put something in that hand.
Absolutely.
I'm now open to receive. So I guess what we're trying to ask you this Christmas season is check yourself and see if you're open to receive. Are you holding on to everything or are you open to receive? I feel like I'm doing an Allstate ad. You're in good hands with Allstate. But the point is, open up your hands, open up your heart, open up yourself to receive this year. And I think you're going to find it'll be the best Christmas season ever for you.
Right. And what you're saying about the bank and also the planting the seed, I think what happens is that we get so accustomed to, we want to see results right now, right away.
Yeah.
And for instance, like when, the biblical principle about give and it shall be given unto you. Well, when sometimes when it comes to God, we're like, no, I want it today. Okay, Lord, I sowed. Now it's got to come today. God's not a genie, because if you think about it, when you talk about the seed, time, and harvest. There's the seed, time, harvest. There should be a seed period, time period, harvest period.
A farmer plants a crop.
Right.
A farmer plants a crop, and the farmer, anybody knows this, the plants just don't come right up. There's a time it takes for the plants to be watered, be nurtured. Then the earth gives nutrients. Then the things come up. And if you plant an apple seed today, you're not going to get an apple tree for at least a few months. And then, but 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you're going to have
an orchard,
an apple tree that you'll have apples till the cows come home. But there's that patience period. Right. And did you know? When you expect something instantly, usually it's not good for you. Things that affect you instantly aren't good for you. People take these pills that affect them instantly, not good for you. Alcohol affects you instantly, not good for you. There's things that it's always those things that take the most time or a little bit of time that are usually the best for you.
Well, plus, and that's the thing about the Word of God, that, sometimes you get instant revelation, and then sometimes you just got to keep on that, man, I know there's something in there. I know that there's something in that scripture, and you just keep meditating on it day and night, and then all of a sudden, boom, here comes the harvest, the revelation. But like I said, when you said about the bank, you got to put the money in before you start collecting the interest.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that God says, okay, she planted the seed, on December 5th, and, I'm not going to give her anything. It doesn't work that way. But what you just said about the patience, that time in between the giving and the harvest, that's the faith.
Yeah, and we were even speaking about our kids. We have these 2 beautiful daughters, And we had to raise them from babies. I mean, they were babies, and it depended on how we raised those kids to determine the sort of adults they were going to become. And they're these awesome kids now because we put a lot of time into these kids.
We planted lots of seeds.
We planted lots of seeds. And not just money. I'm talking about time and
and the watering and the constant, the grooming and the pruning and all of this. And you're right. And then when it says train up a child.
Yep. And the way that, and the Bible also says train up a child the way they should go, not the way they want to go. It's the way they should go.
But if you think about it, it's like taking that rose bush and you're pruning it the way it should grow. Like you want to go up that spiral.
Like in the Karate Kid, when Mr. Miyagi had the little bonsai tree. I always go back to a movie reference. And then Dan, remember Ralph Macchio beat up all those guys. He put some time in, though, right? Even though that's a little bit stretching. Anyway.
The show today is about gifts and giving. And it is also about the biblical principle.
Yes.
And that's the number one. And, it always comes back to, like you said, there are a lot of analogies that we all say that in the natural world, people will say, but really they come from biblical truths.
Yeah, they do. I mean, there's so many things out there that people don't really realize are biblical truths. And we'll get into those later on. But one, our foundation scripture for today is Luke 6:38. And I will go to Luke. Luke 6:38 is all about giving. And when I read this years ago, it really ministered to me because it was just so obvious. And it's even written in red here in the Bible. It means Jesus spoke it himself. Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your bosom," meaning it'll be given to you. For with the same measure that you use, it'll be measured back to you. You're going to get what you give. You're going to reap what you sow. That's another biblical principle people don't even realize. You're going to reap what you sow. If you sow happiness, sow means planting or putting in. If you sow happiness, you're going to get happiness back. If you sow love, you're going to get love back. If you sow hate, you sow misery. I think you know where I'm going with this. So check yourself this holiday season. See what you're planting. See what you're giving. And you're going to get a great return if you do things the right way.
Right. And also, too, excuse me, like you were saying, how there's things that you can do that doesn't cost you anything. I mean, there are plenty of senior citizens in these senior citizen homes that would love to have somebody come and read a book to them.
And just visit, just to visit them. I mean, these people sit in these homes all the time, all alone. People think, oh, they're okay, they're in a home. But they really want some outside company, especially from younger people. Being around younger people makes you feel young. I work in the cartoon industry. I make shows for kids. I feel young every single day because I have to think like a kid all day long. I'm going to live till I'm 150 years old, just so you guys know. Anyway, but I mean, being around young people, being youthful, thinking youthful, keeps you youthful as well. And the holiday season is the perfect time to think youthful because it's all about giving to kids as well. So,
and also, too, I mean, with the money factor, I know that a lot of people are struggling right now. And believe me, as far as Black Friday goes, obviously the economy has gotten much better, it's like that's kind of something that we know, but the media won't tell you that.
We may have been led to think the economy is worse than it actually is, but you never know.
No, but there might be something else, that you can think of. You don't have to be sad because you can't find a way financially to bless, whoever it is in your family. But just know this. I mean, listen, just sow them the gift of love. I mean, that's the whole thing. And I know that we condemn ourselves a lot in this society about, I can't afford this and I can't afford that. But don't do that to yourself because there's so many wonderful things that you can get when you do go in deep inside and say, what can I give that I can't afford? I mean, I can't afford to give money, but what can I give inside myself? Yeah. And think about the lessons, the life lessons that you learned because of that.
Yeah, believe me, there's nothing like feeling great after giving somebody something that they really wanted or that they really, really appreciated. It makes you feel so much better. It really does. And it says given, it will be given back. I mean, if you give, it'll be given back to you in some way. I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
It might come right then. It might come months, years later, but it will come.
And also, too, just one last thing. That if you start feeling sorry for yourself and condemning yourself, pick up the phone, go through your little Rolodex on the phone and find somebody to call and just say, hey, I was thinking about you. It's going to change your whole attitude.
What's a Rolodex?
Well, okay, I'm 48, all right, sorry. All right, but we got to end the show because we're running out of time. And listen, thank you so much for watching the show, and have a Merry Christmas. Remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. And don't let all this money stuff worry you. Just let it go and just enjoy your life. And so we will see you soon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.